Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'll be sharing with you how to paint tree today using reference photo. So here I have a picture taken by Daniel Corden. He's an amazing photographer, so do check him out on Instagram. He takes lovely scenery pictures. He's also very kind enough to let me use his picture as our reference photo for today. Here I'll be showing you step by step how to paint this tree here. So I've printed out a zoomed in version of the photo. So we won't be following the mood of this picture. For the purpose of this video, we'll be using colors that portray a daytime tree. Because in this picture, it only has one tone, which is dark green around the whole tree. I'd like to show you how to paint a tree during daytime to show the difference of light and shadows. So to start off, we will be looking at the shape of this tree. So what we can see is that it has three portions. So this is the first portion, second portion, and the third portion. I'll be sketching based on these three portions. To start off with the leaves. So this will be the first portion and the second portion here. And the third. So I'm leaving a gap here, as you can see in the photo. Adding in the branch. You can see that the branch of the trees, they have crooked lines instead of straight smooth line. So this will give more character to a tree. I'm trying to replicate this shape here. Alright. I've prepared 4 colors. So here we have yellow and light green. Here I'm using Sap Green and Umber Green. You may use colors that you already have on your palette which are similar. it's good to prepare your colors before we start painting, because here we'll be using wet on wet techniques and we will need to work very quickly while the paints are still wet. So I'm preparing more colors here, more yellow, more green. And the light source is coming from the right, so keep that in mind. I'm starting off with the lightest color, yellow, and drop it off here. I would want to keep this part of the tree lighter and then darker on the left side. Here I'm using lots of water and spreading out the paint. And I'm leaving this part here blank. And now moving on to green. When painting a tree, it's good to know where the shadow lies. So usually the darker areas are nearer to the branch or at the bottom of the branches. So if you can see, we have 3 portions here, and the shadow will lie at the bottom of this portion and here. And for this third one will be at the bottom here. And from here we slowly bring it up, upwards. Because this part is darker, I will cover more of the yellow areas. And then moving on to Sap Green. Here we can start painting out the foliage using the tip of your brush, like this one here. Adding more shadows, more depth to the trees. So just tap, 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 and then drop your pigments in. So because this is the one portion of the tree, the shadow lies around the bottom. That's how you determine the shadow where to put your darker shades. Now I feel that this is too round. We'll just add more shape to it. And last green. So I'm changing to a smaller brush. To paint out the leaves. And then adding more depth, creating more contrast with darker green. So here I'm using the same color but less water and more pigment, so you can see it doesn't spread out that much. And now I would like to show you a trick. With just water, wet your brush and tap out excess. And then with just water on your brush, tap your brush onto the wet areas And you can see salt light effect coming out. This will give more texture to your tree. You can see this coming out here. And now adding color, adding green, and also tapping on. And now moving on to the branches. You may take any green that you like. We can start with a lighter, can take brown. Start with a lighter brown. So it's okay if it bleeds in. So I would want to maintain that crooked lines. And I'm blending it out here just with water. And then grabbing a darker brown. So the shadow is on the left side, so I'll paint it over on the left here. And just let it flow. Yes. Painting in some grass. And just with water, blend it. Okay, so while the paper is still wet, I'm taking a card. This is just Starbucks card, or you may use any credit card that you have on hand, and using the edge, scratch it out. So it only works if your paper is still wet. So these areas up here you can't see much because it's already dry. Okay, so I'm adding more details. Here I'm using sepia brown to add details to the trunk. Here we're using wet on dry, where the bottom layer is already dry. So wet on dry techniques are good for creating tiny details. And I'm also adding some branches out here. So the trees are already dry. I'm adding final touches with darker green. So by doing this, I'm creating more contrast and adding more depth to the tree. So like places where it's too smooth, like over here, I can add in more leaves. So what you can do sometimes is to take a break and stand up, have a look at the picture as a whole, and from there sometimes you'll see some flaws that you like to change, and then you can come back to it and make more amendments, like tiny details. So one thing is to be careful not to overdo this. Sometimes I get too engrossed in adding the details. I think that's it. So yeah, so this is how you paint a tree. I hope you enjoyed trying this, and do tag me on social media. Love to see your works. And yeah, stay tuned for the next video, and I'll see you soon. Bye.